Welcome to All Pets Considered. I'm Dr. Nancy Belknap. Our show is dedicated to the pets and pet owners of Northwest Arkansas. We'll be featuring animal shelters and some of the pets available, and also be having an interesting time and learning something from our pet behaviorist, Deborah Grodeca. But first, as always, we'll want to make sure everyone says hi to Chauncey, our set pet. He's a wonderful kitty cat who is adopted from our area, now spends most of his life inside, cleaning himself, full of love home. And today we'll be featuring pets from Fayetteville Animal Services. Chris, welcome to the show. We are always happy to have Fayetteville Animal Services on All Pets Considered because you have a great selection of animals and lots of available ways to find them. So tell us how we're going to get hold of you.
The best way to come down is just to meet with us, just to come down to the shelter. Our address is 1640 South Armstrong Avenue. It's down on the south side of Fayetteville. If you need directions, feel free to give us a call. The number is 479-444-3456. And you can also view all of our adoptable pets online at fayettevilleanimals.petfinder.com.
A million ways to get hold of you, and really I'm better on Pet Finder just because I don't have to look at those little sad eyes quite so much. But visiting the shelter, I also want to remind people this time of year, especially if they aren't able to take a pet into their home, I'm sure the shelter needs donations of towels, blankets, food, anything in particular that we can do for you.
Towels, blankets, and canned food. You got the three important ones right there. You know, warm bedding and soft food. We're not really in a need ever for bagged dry food, but the wet food in a can for both dogs and cats, it's something that is always needed.
Probably a never-ending need, obviously a never-ending need, and hopefully through our show we'll reduce your need a little bit by adopting some of these pets out.
Hopefully we're going to reduce it by 4 today.
There you go. We have a beautiful cat to start with, actually, and I really like cats as pets. They are so much, in the long run, easier than dogs. You can go off to work and not have to worry quite as much, although I've had some kittens get into things before at my house. This is a beautiful cat, and I'm going to set her down. Tell us a little bit about her.
Well, her name is Kylie. She's about 10 months old. She was actually surrendered to the Fayetteville Animal Shelter by her owner. They do make great pets, but the important thing when you get a pet is to make sure your landlord allows it first.
Well, that's a big step.
So their landlord said they couldn't have her anymore, so they brought her into us. You'll notice she's got that great little notch and that curled up ear. I
was going to mention that. Is that from an injury then?
We think probably she received a small maybe bite as a kitten, and it just healed in that kind of unique formation.
There is a breed of cats, just to educate us all, that's an American curl. And it's a very unusual and rare breed, but both of the ears tip back. And her little ear actually has a cut in it that had healed that way. So it gives her quite the distinct look. It's on her black ear, so it really kind of gives that look to her. Very friendly cat and sweet cat.
If anybody's interested in a non-symmetrical cat, this is the one for you.
If symmetry doesn't appeal to you at all. I have to tell you, one of my favorite names for a kitty cat that's white with a black appendage called a tail is Dipstick. So while Kylie is a cute name, I can get you a good name, Dipstick, huh? There you go. The adoption fee at Fayetteville Animal Services for love?
for love. It's $60. What that would cover for Kylie is her spay, her rabies vaccination, her microchip. She's already received all of her initial vaccinations, including deworming, and we even test them for feline leukemia.
That's an important thing, especially if you have cats at home. You want to make sure that you're getting a healthy cat and you're not going to give your kitties anything. Kylie does seem especially calm, and being a short-coated cat would be very easy to groom and keep around the house. And she's just purring away. I know everyone can't appreciate that, but you bet she's really enjoying all this attention. So $60, Fayetteville Animal Services. A young adult cat, Chris, she still has a lot of life in her.
At 10 months, that's I think the best age to adopt a cat, because it's right in between the bottle feeding kitten crazy all the time and the borderline adult. So you get kind of the best of both worlds.
There you go.
You get playful and calm.
And she really needs a home so much. So I'll put you up, and we brought another little kitty today.
Indeed. Now you're about to get out one of my best friends in the whole wide world.
Aww.
His name is Harry. And once you get him out of the cage, we'll show everybody why we named him Harry.
It always does my heart good to have an animal control officer call an animal one of their very favorite friends in the world. I had to bust you out there, Harry, didn't I?
He was found as a stray.
Aha.
And he's got quite a bit of hair missing off of his tail.
So he was actually a stray, not an owner surrender like Miss Kylie was.
Yes.
Okay.
Someone, suffice to say, someone called and said that they found the cat.
So we have quite the hairdo on the cat you brought today. What, he came in with injuries then?
He did. Right? Well, there wasn't really an injury. As you can see on the tail, there's quite a bit of hair loss and some spots. Our staff veterinarian says that was probably due to bites that were never treated properly. What happened was, as the scabs grew out, it essentially pulled all the hair out.
Ah, I see. So healing now, though, it looks like it's healing out.
He looks
pretty
10
well.
times better than when I first met him.
That's beautiful eyes. And you know what? What he lacks in the rear end right now, which will grow, his face is awesome. Those blue eyes. And he, too, a very friendly cat, Chris.
All he wants to do is cuddle with you.
Oh.
If your feet are ever cold, this is the cat for you.
So tell me, how old do you think he is then?
We're estimating a year to 2 years, somewhere like that. We think he's fairly young.
Excellent.
Not quite a kitten. We think this is as big as he's going to be, and he's a little bit chunky.
Well, that's good. That's that way a little summer or a little winter fat for the summer fun, no doubt.
Sounds good to me.
You bet.
He's got that beautiful, almost flame point Siamese look to him, without being too much of a Siamese look.
Oh, there you go, buddy. And how calm he is in this environment that he's never been in before, with all the lights and strangers. Would make an excellent pet for someone. So the adoption fee for a male cat like this?
Just the same. It's $60. Again, that covers his rabies vaccination, microchip, his feline leukemia test. We send you home with a bag of food. He does come with one added bonus.
All right.
And that he came to the animal shelter already neutered. So that means he qualifies for our Compassionate Hearts program. What that means is, for anybody over the age of 62 or with a handicap or disability, we completely waive the adoption fee. So
for him.
Right.
So the $60 would be waived, and he would still have all of the vaccinations and microchip and...
Exactly.
And you know, he's the kind of cat that would be perfect in a home with an elderly person, not as active. He's just laying here purring, you know, and that's awesome. So it's called the Compassionate Hearts program.
Yes, and anybody who's interested in him, like I said, you call us at the animal shelter. Be happy to explain that program in more detail.
Sounds like a Frank Sinatra deal to me for you. There you go. Well, let's get some dogs out. You and I said we'd start with the cats to make sure they had equal time today.
Exactly, mixing it up.
That's right. We have two little guys, which always make... Hi, what are you doing, little Scruffy? Oh, my goodness, this one's cute.
Well, this is Potter.
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 Harry and Potter, uh-oh.
I did not realize we had done that.
Well, it's cute. There you go.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, well, tell us about him.
Potter is a Jack Russell Yorkie mix. Again, he was also surrendered to the shelter, and they knew the father was a Jack Russell. The mother was a mostly Yorkie mix. He is 1 year, 9 months old. He's great with cats. He's great with other dogs. He's great with children. The only real issue was that the people had some horses, and Potter really likes the horses.
He's a little nervous up here on this high thing, so if it's not me that's making him nervous, he likes to chase horses.
Yes.
Uh-oh. So he needs to go to someone in town who
probably doesn't have him. That's we interviewed the owner pretty thoroughly when they relinquished him, and that was the only complaint they had about him. And he was kind of chasing the horses to the point where the horses were getting themselves into trouble. And
you know, if you're this little and a horse zigs when you zag, it can certainly be a fatal, if not nearly fatal. He's absolutely precious, a little nervous being up high. I don't blame him. When you're this little, that's pretty high. It's a couple of stories high for you and I, no doubt. And tell me about adoption fee for a dog like him.
Just like everyone else, it's $60. For him, it covers his neuter, rabies vaccination, microchip, initial vaccinations, booster shot, dewormer, bag of food, and for the dogs, we test for heartworms.
Perfect. You know, a breed cross like him with the Yorkie, not a big shedding breed, the Jack Russell Terrier, not big shedding breed.
Exactly.
It certainly would make someone a super house pet, and he's a great size, Chris. He weighs, you know, less than 10 pounds.
Yeah, he's full grown. He's not going to get any bigger than this.
Oh, he is awesome. He should find a home pretty quick, I would think.
I hope so.
I would. Well, equal time, dear. I hear you.
What are you being whiny about?
We'll get our last little contestant out. There you go, buddy. And again, $60, let me tell you, for all those services. at a veterinary office with a free bag of food, you just can't find it.
We've done the math. Most vets in the area, for the amount of services, if you were to bring your own dog in, it would cost about $250.
Exactly.
For everything that we cover and just our adoption fee.
And you're contributing to the community by taking in a homeless pet.
Exactly.
So, this is a leggy little girl, huh?
Yes.
Tell us about her.
Her name is Barkley. She is a pup. She's only about 6 months old.
She's cute. Look at her little pointy face and ears.
I know.
That's perfect.
And if that tells you what breed it is, excellent. She's the wonder pup.
Anyone's guess. There you go.
Anyone's guess. I guess you could call her an Arkansas Terrier.
Sweetie, Arkansas Terrier would be absolutely perfect. So she's got not much more growing to do. She's going to stay pretty small.
I think so. She's got these real long legs. You know, like I think an Italian, you'd see an Italian Greyhound.
You know, I was going to guess the breed and go with a little Italian Greyhound, the tip of the ear and everything. Certainly, Italian Greyhounds are excellent dogs.
They really are.
They really make great pets. And I do see a little IG in her. Let's see what your tail looks like, girlfriend. Yep, you got the tail of one.
What I think is so great about the Italian Greyhound is they have that great temperament that the Greyhounds do, that the full-sized Greyhounds do, except that you can keep them inside your house.
They're small enough to make a wonderful little house
Exactly.
pet. And you know, while they're very active at times, they can calm down and just be excellent. Good with kids.
Yes.
Generally good with other animals if they're raised with them. And again, that short coat. You can put this little girl in the sink and give her a bath, and you know, it's not a major ordeal.
Her coat definitely doesn't require a whole lot of maintenance.
She's very cute. So the $60 fee would apply to her as well?
Yeah, that would cover her spay, all those vaccinations, microchip, heartworm test, and a bag of Science Diet food.
You know, she really needs a home. Puppies like this really deserve someone. Very friendly, very sweet. Just needs a lap in a fenced-in backyard and someone with a little bit of time, that's all. We really appreciate all the things you do. All the animals do, no doubt.
So I can tell Barkley does.
And I can't imagine that any of these would be out in the weather we've been having and not have somewhere with food, water, and shelter. So thank you from me.
That's what the animal shelter's there for.
You bet. All Pets Considered will return in just a moment.
Imagine Beaver Lake. It's in our homes, our backyards, our lives. Imagine Beaver Lake and what it means in your life. Visit Beaver Water District's website at bwdh20.org for information on what the lake and its watershed mean for us all. Beaver Lake, you drink it every day. Open Avenues, formerly known as the Adult Development Center of Benton County, is a training organization for people with disabilities. We prepare our clients to become a part of, rather than apart from, the community. We provide job skills training and placement services. We offer instruction in life skills and opportunities for socialization. The Open Avenues culture demands our services be excellent and our clients successful. For more information, call 479-636-5082 or visit openavenues.org.
Chocolate milk is so delicious. Not only that, but it's so nutritious. Get some in you to improve your fitness, to have you rebuilding, looking ready for business. Go on ahead and tip back your glass. Chocolate milk, fuel your blast.
Chocolate milk is almost twice as effective as commercial sports drinks for refueling exhausted muscles. Twice! Milk. Chocolate. Milk.
My name is Amanda. I'm 21 years old. I have lots of friends that use tanning beds that lay out in the sun all the time, and I tell them about Jamie. Jamie was in her early 20s when she was diagnosed with melanoma, and she died right before she turned 30. People think tanning is safe. I don't think it's safe. You could die just like Jamie did.
This message is brought to you by the American Academy of Dermatology.
Deborah Grodetka is a highly qualified dog behavior professional with extensive experience as a trainer and behavior specialist. She has earned the title of Certified Pet Dog Trainer from the Certification Council of Pet Dog Trainers and is the founder of Every Dog Can Incorporated.
Last week, we showed you how to have some summertime fun with an easy obstacle course made out of found objects right from your very own garage. Today we're going to take it a step further with Coco, and we're going to show you how to step by step take the dog through a task that originally they found scary or daunting, and how to break it down in small enough segments that the dog can be successful with it and be successful rather quickly. Now you see, this jungle gym has this really cool climbing step wall. And this is a really neat trick that Sarah and boys have already taught Coco, and getting him to go up and down those steps. It's not an easy thing for him because, as you see, the steps are not evenly spaced, and they're more widely spaced than normal steps, so he has to really leap up and stretch his body in ways that he wouldn't normally do going up and down steps in a regular household. Now, if you had a dog that's afraid of these things, the way I would start is one little step at a time. And a good way to get a dog to go up and down stairs is to simply Hansel and Gretel again, put a few treats on the steps and lead the dog up one by one. Now, Coco has already mastered this, so this is no big deal for him. But for some dogs that might be frightened with this, you might have to just do one step every 2 days. Now, going down is actually more difficult than going up. And of course, we can't really get behind a dog's eyes and see what they're seeing, but research shows us that dogs' peripheral vision is more active than their straight ahead vision. So going down, they sense the space a little differently than we do. And that's why you may often notice with your own dog that they'll zoom up things, but it's harder for them to come down. See, with him, it's no big deal here. So going down, it's a slower process for some dogs, but use the same method. For a dog like Coco, where going up and down is already pretty easy for him, what we're going to do is we're going to increase the difficulty up by having him do new things on his way up and on his way down. So one of the first things we can do, Coco, Coco, lead him through the hoop. That's a real simple one. But what you can do, Sarah, is eventually get your boys having him hop the hoop before he goes up there. Okay, Coco, let's move him back a little bit. Okay, Coco, through and up, 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 up. And by the way, you guys have probably noticed out there, this is a great way to get a dog some exercise. It's a lot of work, and he burns a lot of calories going up and down these stairs. Here we go. Through, through. Yay! Good job. Let's say your goal is for him to be able to come down these steps and come down the center of this board. Now, this is going to be a little hard at first because he's already a little uncomfortable with this. But what I'm going to do is, my first progression is going to be to take these boards here and kind of build a little guide for him that I want him to really focus on going straight up and hitting this step. Good. And you see how he naturally went through those two boards because it's like a little visual help for him. And whenever you're working something, Coco, that you're building a behavior over time, you want to break it down into steps for the dog. Little bitty steps that they can be successful at, and never go to a more difficult step before the dog has really mastered the step before. It's really just the same way we learn. So now we're going to need to get him comfortable walking right up here. Yay, Coco! That was pretty cool. He did better with that than I thought he would. Excellent. Just following my hand. Come on, baby boy. Good job. Right down the center of the board, and yes! And when he's done, he gets the treat. Okay, now this is going to be a little hard, but let's see if we put just the end of this just like that and make a little ramp out of it, whether he will be willing to take the obstacle. I'm going to put the food in my hand and see if he'll follow it right up that step. And you see now what he's had to do. It's different for him because see what's happened here is now he's pushing off from the board. Let me get him back down and then I'll show you. And it's really important to be aware, very aware of what the dog is experiencing. Come on, baby, right down. Yes, excellent, Coco. Notice when the board comes here, the distance he's stepping with his feet from here to here is completely different. Go get him, go find him, go find him. Then when he steps from here to here or from here to here. And you know, this is why dogs get labeled as stubborn by human beings, because human beings aren't trying to look at what the dog is experiencing. And if the dog is missing it, they blame the dog instead of realizing that the dog just doesn't understand what's changed. So this is why we take it step by step to help the dog get it right. I want to make sure it's not going to slip because I don't want to scare him. You will lose all of the ground you've gained if you get to this point and the dog falls or the obstacle fails or something happens to frighten them. You may never get them back up on it. So that's why you want to work really gradually. Okay, now again, more difficult, something new, so the food comes back out. Okay, Coco, let's give it a whirl, baby. Yes, like a pro. Okay, now you see he stepped off. And the reason he stepped off is he says, whoa, what is different here? The angle. He's going higher and he can't, he's used to, in his visual field, he's used to stepping from here to here, okay? Now he can't step from that step because the board is covering it. So now he has to make a decision. Do I try to push up to this one? Do I go to this one? Do I go to this one? You've got to give the dog the chance to figure out what works for him, and don't get frustrated if he doesn't get it the first few times. So yes, so he said, good. You see what he did there? Excellent. He did a little bit of a platform here, and then he pushed himself off up onto this one here. So we got to give him the chance to figure this out. Okay. Now, let's see what he does here. And again, I want to go really slowly. Yes, excellent, Mr. Coco. Let's see if we get him. Here we go. Now he's got to figure it out. Coco, this way. Yes. Okay, you see, he's really trying to figure out what do I do next. And for now, he's decided it's too scary to push off from here to here. And I think that's because the board is a little wobbly. So we'll just let him get used to that new height. Come on, puppy. Here we go. Let him figure it out. Let him work it out. Good. Yes. And then my guess is, Sarah, with enough practice, he's going to just hop right up this and scamper right up the steps. But give him the time to build the confidence. Excellent. He's getting it. Yay. Give him the opportunity to build the confidence he needs to traverse it really elegantly. Here we go. Yes! Well done. Great, great puzzle for Coco, and he did an admirable job of working through that. Thank you, Coco. Good job.
There's a popular expression, not in my backyard. In Northwest Arkansas, we all share a pretty big backyard, Beaver Lake. Imagine Beaver Lake and what it means in your life. Visit Beaver Water District's website, bwdh2o.org. You'll have more information on what the lake and its watershed means to us all. Beaver Lake. You drink it every day.
My buddy Tommy is an artist, and I'm his assistant, Hailey. Actually, I've been helping Tommy with a lot of things since we were teamed up by Canine Companions for Independence. I help him get around, reach things he can't get to, keep him smiling. Sometimes I'm even his paintbrush. To find out how you can help bring people like Tommy together with dogs like me, visit cci.org or call 1-800-572-BARK.
Do you want to help your business or organization while helping to make Northwest Arkansas a better place to live for everyone? If you're looking for a cost-effective alternative for production and fulfillment needs, consider Open Avenues, formerly known as the Adult Development Center of Benton County. With a stable and productive workforce of over 100 disabled adults, Open Avenues has solutions to your needs. To learn more, contact Eddie Duncan at 479-636-5082. Open Avenues, capable people, quality work.
My Jamie, a precious baby girl. When Jamie was a teenager, she would spend her lunch hours going to the tanning salons. I didn't realize how dangerous they were. If you tan when you're young, your risks for melanoma are increased by 75%. That's huge. No mother should have to visit their daughter in a cemetery.
This message is brought to you by the American Academy of Dermatology.
Well, Chris, thank you again. You are a delightful guest. We love having you. You bring super animals from Fayetteville Animal Services. So tell us again who you brought, and please, I hope they get adopted.
All right. Well, we've got Harry and Potter, or Harry and Potter, if you want to point at them in the right way. Down here, we've got Barkley, and then the little cat with the tipped ear is Kylie.
All of these pets are available through Fayetteville Animal Services, very reasonably priced. There's a Compassionate Hearts program even if you're over 65 or qualified with a handicap or disability. How are we going to get hold of you?
The animal shelter is located at 1640 South Armstrong Avenue. That's just off of 15th Street down on the south side of Fayetteville. You can give us a call at 479-444-3456. And you can view all these animals and all the other animals we have available online at fayettevilleanimals.petfinder.com.
I'll put in a plug as well. If you aren't able to adopt a pet, please contribute canned food, blankets, towels, anything like that to the Animal Services. Help an animal through this weather, no doubt. If any of our viewers need to get hold of our training expert, Deborah Grodecka, they can at her website, www.everydogcan.com, or by giving her a call at 925-3000. Thank you to all our viewers for joining us today on All Pets Considered. We hope that you learned something about pets and responsible pet ownership. We also hope that when it's time for you to adopt another animal, you'll think about the animal services available in our area and adopt one from there. We'd like to thank Fayetteville Animal Services for being here, and we hope to see you all next week for All Pets Considered.